Where's my solicitor, Sergeant? Sergeant! I don't like it being stuck in little places like this.
Well, that's why people make little places like this, so that people like you won't like it. Architects go to a lot of trouble. Why do you think they put you in here anyway?
I don't know.
Well, maybe you should cast your mind back to last night.
Harry Spring's in hospital.
Well, the old boy, Derek Spring's dad.
Yeah, it's OK, I'll hold. The kid we got downstairs, Pritchard. He was caught by night duty red-handed breaking into Spring's place. This was after Harry Spring had left in an ambulance.
An opportunist.
Well, night duty reckoned the kid had been in the place once before already. Spring said a young lad had knocked him about. Yeah, OK, I'll get back to you. So, I want you to go to St Hugh's and talk to Spring and see if any of this links in with me bringing his son in yesterday.
In what way?
Any way you want. He's already been seen by night duty, but try it on. He's old, he's feeling frail, his defences are down. So see what you can get about Derek, and see what the old man knows about the Rolex watches.
How badly hurt this Spring?
Got a broken rib and a bang on the head.
Is he fit to be interviewed?
No member of the Spring family is ever happy to talk to the police. But he doesn't have much of an option at the moment, so let's not waste it.
Yeah, but if Brownlow loses his job, how's he going to pay his mortgage?
Well, I suppose he'll have to sell a Spanish timeshare or two. Hello, what's this lad doing here?
Rod.
Morning, sir.
Morning. What notes did Alan Worsley leave from last night?
Ambulance was called to Harry Spring's place about 3 a.m, anonymously. Paramedics got no reply. Night duty were called to break down the door, and they found Spring in the kitchen. He came to, started ranting about a young burglar, skinny kid with crooked teeth.
Pritchard.
Night duty said they'd keep a close eye until the locksmith got there.
Did they have a look around?
Yeah, a quick one. A lot of iffy gear. Pritchard came along about half an hour later and made straight for a broken window around the side. Night duty pulled him out by his trainers.
OK, thanks, Rod.
So you had Spring's son in then yesterday?
Derek, yeah, I had him in for a chat. He's fencing Rolex watches. I know he is. From a West End job. The jeweller got knocked about.
So have you come up against them before?
I put the other son away 18 months ago. It'd be nice to keep the family together.
If you won't talk to us, we can't help you.
We need to let your mum and dad know that you're safe. Otherwise, they'll worry.
Sierra Oscar at 171.
Go ahead, Reg.
Yeah, we're in the children's playground near Askill Road. We've got a young lad with us. We need to bring him in.
I'll send someone down.
He's in the gents. There he is.
Mr. Spring, how you feeling? Yes, Greg, Sunhill? I'd like to have a little talk to you about your break-in last night.
Talk won't fix it.
I understand a young lad gave you a bit of a pasting.
You've never seen a pasting, then?
Well, you've got, what, broken rib, 2 broken fingers, dislocated shoulder, nasty cut to your head?
When you hear the kids in, come and visit. Then you'll see a pasting.
Well, you left the punishment to us, Mr. Spring. Could you describe your attacker?
Forget about the boy, dears Greg. It's best.
Last night you said he was skinny with crooked teeth.
So are you.
We have a lad fitting that description in a cell at Sun Hill. He was nicked getting into a window of your house half an hour after you left for hospital.
So?
Like I said to him, Sarge, if he don't talk to us, we can't help him, can we?
You been out all night, son? Had a row with your mum and dad? Do you like egg and bacon? Sausages? Baked beans?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Do you make a habit of battering frail old pensioners, Ryan?
I didn't batter him. It was like that when I found him.
After you'd broken into his house?
I called an ambulance for him.
What, first you knock him about, then you call an ambulance?
I didn't knock him about.
There wasn't anybody else in the house, Ryan.
He fell down the stairs.
He says you gave him a pasting.
He's lying.
So you broke into the house, you found him lying there, you called an ambulance. That's practically a good Samaritan.
Only that's not the way the old boy tells it.
He says you gave him a pasting. Now, that's not just burglary, Ryan. They put you away for that sort of thing, you know.
Beating up pensioners.
He's a liar. I hardly touched him.
But you did touch him, did you?
He was like that when I found him.
Yeah?
He wanted me to call an ambulance for him.
And?
I said, what's in it for me?
He might open up a bit when he's filled his stomach.
He hasn't said anything at all then? Has he been reported missing?
Not yet.
Have the FME look at him and see if social services could send you around some warmer clothes.
Right.
Hollis can look after the boy.
Pritchard wanted paying for calling an ambulance.
Something to make it worth his while.
There's a young man firmly in tune with the enterprise culture.
Well, Harry Spring offered him 50 quid to find a call box.
And did he?
Yes, he did. We checked it with CAD. The young man, phone box, wouldn't leave a name round about the same time. But when he got back, Spring wouldn't pay him.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, Spring decided to hang on till the ambulance got there.
So Pritchard assaulted him?
Well, I think Pritchard's telling the truth when he said that Spring was already in a bad way. 2 broken fingers, dislocated shoulder, bang on the head. It's consistent with being butted and then falling. But he did have a broken rib.
Did Pritchard kick him?
Well, neither of them will say so.
The Spring dynasty.
You done? Right. Better get these in my office, eh? You going to tell me your name now?
John.
John. Right, John. I'm going to have to try and get you back where you belong. It's a nice watch.
Dad gave it to me.
Yeah? Have a look at it.
Morning, sister.
If you're after Mr. Spring, he signed himself out.
How long ago?
15 minutes, against medical advice.
Did he say where he was going?
I'm afraid I didn't ask. Excuse me.
Derek Spring's wife, the old man's daughter-in-law. You going to a car boot sale?
Probably not now, no.
Come on, girl. Get a move on.
Shut up, Harry. You got people here.
Hello, Mr. Spring. We thought you might need a hand shifting some of this stuff.
I'm not saying you stole it, son. All I'm saying is it was stolen from a jewellery shop in the West End, and a man was badly hurt in the robbery.
My dad gave it to me.
Yes, you've already told us that your dad gave it to you. What we were wondering is where your dad got it from. And we'd like to know where he is so we can ask him.
John, we need to talk to your dad, because perhaps he can help us find the people who stole the watch.
Maybe you could tell us where he lives.
I don't know.
You don't know where your dad lives?
What about your mum? Come on, then.
Are you sure the old guy's fit to be put in a cell?
Boyden will get the FME to look at him.
We could interview him right away, then bail him.
Perhaps you should send out some grapes and a bunch of flowers.
Look, I'm just saying, he's an old guy. He's got some nasty injuries.
He probably deserves them.
Well, maybe he does.
Gov, Sergeant Carr's in number 4. He's got a kid brought in for a place of safety. He was wearing one of those Rolexes you arrested Derek Spring for.
Where'd you get it?
Well, he said his dad gave it him.
And when did he get it?
He's not been very forthcoming about all that, sir.
Oh, let's see if we can persuade him. Is that all right, Alistair?
It's a very expensive watch, isn't it? Ah, sir. This is Malcolm Preston from Social Services. See John.
DCI Meadows.
Hi. And this is John.
Hello, John.
Are you the governor?
I am, yes.
I don't think John is one of ours, but it might be as well if we took him off your hands. Somewhere more congenial.
Well, I don't know whether Sergeant Cry's mentioned this to you, but when we found John, he was in possession of some stolen property. And we need to have words with him about that.
He has been here several hours, and he has been questioned about the watch already.
Well, so far he's told us very little. And I think he can help me a lot.
I only want to speak to the governor. Watched a video.
Which one?
Star Trek.
Was it good? What time did your dad get back from the pub?
Nearly midnight.
And he had the watch with him. Anything else?
He had 6 watches. Said I could choose one. He'd been drinking.
And you chose this one? What then?
He fell asleep in the chair. I in the bed. Bit late, there was banging on the door. About 1 o'clock, I looked at the watch.
And did your dad answer it?
I had to go and wake him up. The bloke was shouting.
And then your dad answered the door?
The bloke pushed the door open. He pushed my dad. He was shouting about the watches. Said they were his.
What did your dad do?
He tried pushing the man back out again. He was a bit bigger than my dad, the other bloke. He saw my watch. Tried to grab it off of me. My dad went mad.
And then what happened?
They were fighting in the sitting room. The other bloke slipped on the video box and fell over and banged his head on the coffee table. My dad started hitting him.
Hitting him with his fist?
The television. He saw me watching. Then he shouted at me to tell me to get lost. So I did.
Was the other man badly hurt?
He started it.
Has the FME had a look at Harry Spring yet?
Just left.
And?
He'll live.
Right, I'll interview him as soon as I finish here. Thanks. You wanted to see me?
I'm worried about my husband, Derek.
Why?
He didn't come home last night.
When did you last see him?
He was in here till about 9, talking to your governor. He got home 10-ish, had something to eat, went over to his dad's place.
And what does Harry say?
He says he came round, left about midnight, 1 o'clock. Didn't say where he was going.
You think that's right?
He looked like an honest man.
Never seen it before.
What about these? I'm showing the suspect 4 Rolex watches removed during a search of his house earlier today.
I've never seen them either.
You were there when we pulled them out of the drawer in your wardrobe, Mr. Spring.
That was the first time I've seen them.
So how did they come to be in your house?
Someone else put them there.
Someone like who?
Derek.
They belong to your son.
He leaves stuff in the house. I don't like it, but there's not much I can do.
An eyewitness reports seeing a man who fits the description of your son, Derek, forcing an entry into a flat, assaulting the tenant and his son in an attempt to retrieve 6 Rolex watches. 6 more from a batch of 10 that were stolen from the same robbery. 6 watches bought from a man in a pub. And this was one of them.
Did you sell this watch and 5 similar ones to a man called David Sampson, Mr. Spring?
No.
Is that why Derek nutted you? Because you sold his stuff? You didn't know they were real, did you? You thought they were the usual old fakes. What'd you get for them, a £5 apiece? No wonder Derek was mad.
Could be that Derek needs your help now, though, Mr. Spring. The witness reports him coming off worse in this disagreement with David Sampson. And his wife says he didn't come home last night. Your son might be badly injured somewhere.
So, why didn't you ask this...
David Sampson?
Yeah.
We don't know where he lives, Mr. Spring. The witness couldn't tell us.
I bet you could.
I don't believe he won't help his own son.
What's Derek done for him?
I'm just talking about basic family, blood's thicker than water and all that.
It was Derek who put him in hospital.
He might be lying dead somewhere.
Well, there's no helping him anyway, then, is there?
Yeah. Well, his mother's on holiday until the end of the week. OK, I'll hear from you then. Right, great, thanks. Bye.
You went in, John.
Here's a good one for you.
Sarge?
That lad that Gary and Reg brought in this morning, we got a name for him. It's a John Sampson. Now, he's been living with his dad somewhere in the area, a David Sampson. The problem is he can't remember where. Well, he spends most of his time living with his mum in Devon. Now, the dad's just moved into Sunhill and the boy's been staying with him for a couple of days. He runs away last night and can't find his way home. And we don't have a record on David Sampson.
Contact the mother?
No, she's on holiday. That's why the boy's staying with the dad.
And the father hasn't been in to report his son missing?
Uh-uh.
Description of the father?
Well, not a lot of use. The lad says he's got brown hair, blue eyes, average height, he wears jeans and trainers. Plus, the father could be in trouble. The fight sounds quite vicious.
Do we know who he was fighting with?
Well, the DCI reckons it was Derek Spring.
Then he is in trouble.
There's a green door. Then you get up some stone stairs. Lots of other people live there. There's a long passage and sometimes there's a hot dog van.
This hot dog van, John, is it in front of the building your dad lives in?
Yeah.
Bob, apparently Harry Spring drinks in the Tamworth Arms, sometimes the Two Eagles. So it could be that John's dad's living in the area.
Now, if you see anything familiar, just give me a shout, eh?
Where did your dad live before he moved to Sunhill, John?
Voss.
Do you look like your dad at all, John?
My mum says I'm getting like him.
What do you mean by that?
He's been in trouble. You police. Been arrested. She wouldn't have him anymore, so he came up here.
What about you? It won't go any further.
Stole something from the shop. Stole a jacket from the shop.
Did he get caught?
Mum said I thought that sort of thing was clever and go and live with my dad.
Reg! Haven't seen you for a good while.
You must have been behaving yourself then, Barry.
And this is?
Gary McCann.
Gary McCann, right. OK, well, Gary, don't suppose you're here escorting my Paul's wing?
Barry, Harry Spring wasn't in here last night, was he?
He was, Reg.
You've noticed who he was talking to, sir?
Talks to everybody, Harry. Quiet word here, quiet word there.
You didn't see him talking to anybody new in the area? David Sampson?
What's he look like?
White, average height, brown hair, jeans, trainers?
Lager top man?
Could be.
Yeah, maybe.
Know where he lives, this Sampson?
He forgot his wallet once. I poured his pint. He was gone and back inside 2 minutes.
John, what floor is it on, mate?
Get up some stairs.
Yeah, go on in, go.
Gary, you look after him, will you?
Right, come on, son, let's take a breather. Come on.
OK, Reg. Just do the glass, will you? Derek Spring. It's the first good news I've had all day.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking for a young kid. My son.
How long's he been missing?
Last night.
From what address?
Well, we're just passing through. Staying with friends, you know. We're going back today.
Right. What's his name?
John.
John...
John Sampson.
Right. Could you, hold on a moment, please, sir? Yeah, Jim? Yeah, I've got Mr. Sampson here looking for his son, John. Right. Yeah, wait there a moment, please, sir.
David Sampson.
Yeah? Yeah? It was self-defence. John will tell you.
Your son says that Derek Springs slipped and banged his head, and then you started hitting him with the TV set.
He barged in, started pushing me about. He went for John. Banged him up against the wall. What was I supposed to do?
Give him the watches?
He didn't give me a chance. Ask John. He saw it all.
Why did you wait so long to report John missing?
I didn't know what I was doing. I went looking for him. I thought he probably told somebody, so I stayed away from the flat. I went back earlier and nothing had changed. So I thought maybe it was safe to try here. Find him, get away. Take him away, I don't know.
You were supposed to be looking after him for a week. You'll be detained here, and you'll be formally charged with the murder of Derek Spring. The CPS are unlikely to buy it. It's Sampson's word against Derek Springs, and Derek Springs' dead. And what the lad says basically backs up his father.
Well, we got rid of Derek Spring and recovered the stolen watches. You'd have settled for that this time yesterday afternoon.
It's John Sampson. You know, Harry Spring strikes again. Another life ruined.
That kid's young. He'll get over it. Besides, the Springs didn't exactly get off lightly.
His mother sent him up here to teach him a lesson.
Maybe he's learned it.
Maybe he's learned a different one.
Did it right there.
Yeah, I was quite pleased, really. It's difficult to place an entire family like that. It's good.
Hello, John. Now, your mother's on the way, but she won't be here till about 9 o'clock. So Mr. Preston there's going to take you to see some more children. You can wait for her there.
What about my dad?
Well, we're going to have to ask him some more questions.
Is he dead? The other man?
Yes.
If I hadn't had the watch on, maybe he'd gone away.
It's not your fault, John. He wasn't that kind of a person.
If he hadn't seen it, he might have thought he'd come to the wrong place.
I don't think so.
Come on then, John. Let's go, eh? Cheerio.
It wasn't Derek Spring who came to the wrong place.
Across St. Joseph's, turning into George Street.
Got an index? A description, over?
It's a black scrambling one. I can't see the plate, it's obscured by mud, but we think it's Darryl White. Repeat, Darryl White. He's got to kill somebody. Stupid boy. About killing someone.
Yeah, hopefully himself will do us all a favour.
He's turning into Kenley Fields. No, he's gone past it. He's turning into Dishman Alley.
Him, you know. Darryl White. Recognise the boots.
We think it was Darryl White, Sarge.
Any sign of the others, Dave?
No, he was on his own. We'll continue searching the area, see if we can pick him up again.
What have you got, Andrew? Another bike case. Which one do we know?
Darryl White, we think. He was carving up the allotments at the back of the Parkmead estate. He took off when the area car appeared.
I didn't get him.
No, he went across Canley Fields playing silly beggars round the 1 o'clock club. They drove round, but he cleared off.
It's a waste of good petrol, Andrew. A waste of manpower. It's been going on for far too long.
Yes, sir.
No good for the country. Knackering the balance of payments. I'd have a man on every street corner with a bazooka with orders to fire on sight.
Mr. Conway's fixed up a meeting with his contacts on the local council. See if they can't do anything to help, sir.
He's right there.
Sir?
Can't do anything to help. Bazookas. Believe me.
Kill them!
Yeah,
What do they get out of it, eh, Derek? How small are their minds? Cameras, Derek. Can you do us cameras?
Well, they'd just cover their faces, wouldn't they?
No, you could have a man watching down at the station. Red light goes off, he beams in, there they are. Blows the place up.
It's not a video game, Sue.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, Polly. This is Sue Nadin.
Yeah, we met before the last time. Or was it the time before?
Scenes of crimes officers on her way.
Should make a regular appointment, eh, Derek? Get her own key?
I'll take a good look round.
OK, Polly.
Not exactly a major triumph for your crime prevention man, either.
Yeah, you want to get him down here as well, Polly. Sue, look, we really should be going, you know.
Oh, sorry to leave you, but I just phoned Jan Parker. She'll be here any minute.
And take good notes, Polly. I want all this damage well documented.
Sir.
Oh, Joe, don't take your coat off. There's been more overnight hassle from Darryl White and his mates on scrambling bikes.
What's the damage this time?
The allotments are in the 1 o'clock club again.
Haven't they been done for that already?
They've been done, but they haven't been stopped. There is an interesting new angle, though.
Oh, yeah?
Remember that malicious call victim Uniform wanted us to talk to?
Yeah, Mrs. Jackson, Sedgwick Avenue. I've got her on my list for a visit today.
We'll make it a priority. She's been on again this morning. She's had calls at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock.
God, she must be exhausted.
Quite. She's got ancient parents. Father's very ill, so she can't leave the phone off in case she's needed.
Is there a Mr. Jackson?
Didn't mention one. But there is a Mick Jackson staying at the same address.
Isn't he one of Darryl White's scrambling mates?
Exactly. Could be just someone giving hassle for hassle.
I thought it was like Fort Knox since the last time.
I see they had to go at burning it again.
Yeah, I've seen it.
No. Round that side.
Somebody dropped something.
Yeah, they tried lighting it with petrol from their tanks. Look, they used cloths.
What's this?
Dunno.
Washing line?
"9:30, he said, on the dot.
He hasn't even told him we're here yet, has he? Was he mucking us about, Derek?
Come on. Come on.
Hey, excuse me.
Chief Inspector Conway from Sun Hill to see the legal director, Mr. Wiley. I know the way, and we're expected at 9:30.
Would you sign in, please?
No, you've made us late enough already.
You've not heard again from Mrs. Jackson, have you, Gov? No, I'm at the house now. Looks like someone left in a real hurry. Okay. I'll leave my calling card.
As you know, Mr. Wiley, we've arrested the offenders twice now. We've taken them to court, watched them being warned or fined, and they're back on their bikes again the same day.
Yes, the reluctance of the courts to impose prison sentences must be very frustrating for you.
They'll kill somebody soon.
Yes. Yes, I'm afraid they will.
Well, we want you to do something about it. It's council property, the 1 o'clock club.
Look, as things stand, the criminal law is not capable of stopping these thugs. But Miss Nadden has been to the neighbourhood law centre and come up with a civil law solution.
I'm applying for an injunction at the county court this afternoon.
See, we know who these lads are, and they'll be named on the injunction. We'll be asking the judge to back up the injunction with a penal notice. So if the youth so much as set foot on 1 o'clock club land again, well, we'll have the power to arrest and imprison them immediately.
Well, I wish you luck this afternoon then, Miss Nadden.
It's not luck we need, sir. We want the council to back us.
Look, if the council were to join Miss Nadin as co-plaintiff, it would greatly increase the chances of an injunction being granted.
I have every sympathy with the plight of your organisation, Miss Nadin. But the 1 o'clock club is a public space. Now, to use a civil law to stop certain people using that space could be interpreted by some as an infringement of their civil liberties.
And what about our civil liberties?
It's a political decision, I'm afraid. It's above my head. You must speak to the leader, Councillor Gladwin.
Oh, we've tried that, but the only time he speaks to us is at election time.
Well, he is a very busy man.
Indeed he is, yes. I have an appointment with him this morning.
I congratulate you on your foresight, Chief Inspector.
How old are you, Jan? 19. So you must know them then, these lads? I see them. They always wave or jeer, shout. I don't really look at them. Lots of men do it, don't they?
We know who they are, and we know where they live. Not that you're able to do much about it. Hi,
I'm sorry, I didn't quite...
John Randall.
Hello, Mr. Randall. Hello. Has your granddad brought you out for a walk?
Actually, I'm the father.
Well, for your information, Mr. Randall, we have been doing quite a lot about these lads.
Doesn't stop them doing it, though, does it?
This is criminal damage. It's a serious offence. We've arrested 3 lads in the past for similar offences.
And then the courts just chuck them back on the streets.
Yeah, well, we do have a...
I know, like I said, there's not a lot you can do about it, is there? I did recognise some of them. We do know who they are, these lads.
We do, Mr. Randall?
Oh, yeah, of course. The girls know them. They went to school with them. Or their sisters. They go out drinking together when they can afford to. Some of them are fathers of some of these children, I shouldn't wonder.
And the girls have given these names to you?
No. No, I'm somewhat of an outsider here. I'm sure you can understand. But living on the doorstep, I always bring my little daughter here. I'm a sort of honorary mother. Girls talk. Names crop up.
What names, Mr. Randall? Can you give me some?
Oh, yeah. I've got a little list.
So, how did you swing the meeting with Gladwin?
Yeah, these days his party likes to play the law and order card. He thinks he's got policemen in his pocket.
Still keeping us waiting, though, isn't he, Derek?
Look, we need his help, so you be careful, right?
I think he's a prat.
Joe, Mrs. Jackson just called, full of apologies. Her kid's had an accident. She's at the hospital.
Oh, at least she's apologised.
It may not have been an entirely wasted journey.
How'd you make that out, Gov?
Holly Page has just reported back from the 1 o'clock club. There's evidence that one of the bikers came off and it may not have been accidental.
Mick Jackson?
Worth checking. There was a neck-high tripwire that had been snapped.
Some of the mothers getting their own back?
Maybe. Talk to Mrs. Jackson at the hospital about the phone calls.
Mr. Wiley has told me of your ingenious plan to seek an injunction, Miss Nadine.
Nadine. And we wanted you to help us.
I'm afraid I have a problem with that, a political problem. The 1 o'clock club and the allotments of public places. For the people living in the high-rise estates, access to them is an important right.
Nobody has the right to carve up our amenities.
Indeed not, Miss Nadden. That's why we have a police force and a criminal law to prevent them.
We're doing the best we can, but our problem is with the courts. The sentences being handed out are not an adequate deterrent.
Or you'd like to send them to prison?
I'd like to chop them off at the knees.
An injunction naming specific regular offenders is the only...
Civil law is there to protect public rights, Derek, not to curtail them.
Why don't you let him finish?
An injunction backed by a penal notice would enable us to imprison the named individuals. It would restore public rights to people like Sue.
There are many people living in the borough of Canley who, rightly or wrongly, see criminal law as an instrument devised primarily for the protection of private property. They don't have a lot of property themselves, and they see civil law as a means by which the few rights they do have are protected.
Nobody has the right to destroy public property.
But they won't take kindly to the use of a civil injunction to protect council property when the criminal justice system is clearly failing to do its job.
You mean you're scared of losing a few votes from the old lags down the Parkmead estate?
Your radio interview, sir. 2 minutes.
On my way, Dorothy. Sorry, Derek. There's no reason why you shouldn't seek an injunction on your own account, but as far as the council is concerned, there are matters of civil liberties to be hammered out before we can make any further commitment.
Didn't I tell you he's hopeless? Well, if anything happens to any of those kids,
Yeah, all right, Sue. OK. I had booked half an hour. There are some important matters I need to discuss with you in private.
I'll be back in a few minutes if you'd like to wait. Do you know the way out, Miss Nadden?
I'll show her. Wait for me in reception, will you? It'll be about 15 minutes.
Why, what are you going to do?
I'm just going to have a few words with him about our special relationship.
Your son's had a nasty accident, Mrs. Jackson.
Yes. He fell across a washing line that I use. That's why it was such a bad break. He's lucky he didn't break his neck.
Or lose his head altogether. Could I have a word, please? Is that the story Mick told you, Mrs. Jackson?
You're not suggesting he's lying, are you?
Well, I don't think he's telling you the truth. You don't think Mick might have been in some kind of trouble, do you, Mrs. Jackson?
No.
You don't think he might have been causing a nuisance to a neighbour, perhaps? So much so that this neighbour is now making nuisance calls to you.
I'm not happy with this decision of yours.
Oh, why is that, Derek?
We've made great progress over the last year. A partnership, I believe that's the language we use these days.
Oh, the new language of networking.
I remember you before you got into suits.
And you were an appointed helmet.
Yes, well, I hope we've both come a long way since then.
I wonder sometimes.
We've established a working partnership that's very important to Canley Council, as well as to the police.
Well, we've had some good things from it.
Oh, yes. Money from the government. Money the council couldn't have got by itself.
What's this leading to, Derek?
You've had resources that allow you, for example, to run a football league, keeping kids off the streets. You've had money for street lighting from the Safer Cities programme, sleeping policemen, locks and peepholes for your old folks' homes.
Are you threatening to take your bat home, Inspector?
Oh, no, not me. But I am asking why you appear willing to buy votes from people who have no respect for the word of law.
Now, hold on, Derek.
Why you are prepared to let this persistent vandalism continue unchecked. Is it because you know that come election time you may be able to squeeze a few more votes by putting the blame for it onto the police? Because if that is the case, then it's time for me to question the basis of our partnership and to ask whose interests it is designed to serve.
Oh, Matthew, how's Polly getting on with this 1 o'clock club business? Got some positive IDs, sir. Bloke lives opposite Sarum. Good. Anybody we know? Our friend from this morning. White? Yeah, and 4 others. One of them could have been Mick Jackson. He's in St Hugh's at the moment with a nasty neck wound. Joe says he got it riding his bike into a tripwire outside the 1 o'clock club last night. Oh, has he admitted that? No, but Joe's questioning his mother about threatening phone calls. Cheers. Someone at the club's taking the law into their own hands. What about our friend White? Polly's on the way to see him now. Call her, stop her, tell her I'm on my way. I'll meet her in the high street on the corner by the jewellers.
How'd you go, Derek?
I'd have done a lot better without your textbook exercise on how not to win friends and influence people.
He's not a person, he's a politician. What do you expect?
Never, but never ask a politician directly to do anything. That's my experience. How many politicians does it take to change a light bulb? You're better off in the dark, that's my theory.
So, where's you from here?
I've got to get back to Sun Hill, but I'll see you at court at noon.
What, on our own then, are we?
Mr. Wiley has been instructed to swear an affidavit, and the council's solicitor will be presenting your joint application in court.
What, you mean we've won?
Not by a distance yet, no, the judge is our next problem.
No, but we've got the council on our side. Oh, well done, you old hero! What have you got on him, Derek?
What do you mean?
I'm glad to be around.
So young yet so cynical, Sue. Let's just say I persuaded him to see the light, yeah?
In you get, Polly.
Thanks, sir.
Don't get the wrong idea about this, Polly. It's not that I doubt your ability at all.
No, sir.
Darryl White's father is a right villain. We've had bother with him for years.
Derek, what signals are you getting from the smoke-filled rooms?
We take one step at a time, Philip.
The measured pace of the political process. Well, it may interest you to know that even as you and your politicians ponder the next move, Andrew Munro and Polly Page are out seizing the little scrope by the scruff.
Oh, yeah. To face a firing squad down in the yard.
You're going to give me an update, are you, Derek? Come on in.
Hello, Philip. Thank you, sir.
If I had my way, I'd have a man in every street.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Bazookas.
You know we got the vigilantes at work on this one, do you?
The ones in uniform, sir, or ones without?
Darryl White.
Yes, it is. Hello, Darryl. We're not talking. Oh dear, it's going to be one of those days.
Is this your bike?
Get off it.
Is this your bike? Were you out on it last night, Darryl?
Probably.
What time, do you remember?
No. Well, what about this morning, about 7?
I was in bed.
Ride it in your sleep, do you, Daryl?
Driving it around the allotment, eh, Daryl?
There's a funny smell round here. Why don't you two take it somewhere else?
You've not met Mr. White, Constable?
Not had the pleasure, no, sir.
Not likely to either. So what's the problem this time, eh?
What's that? Round the back.
Why don't you two start bothering some real criminals, eh? That's the 3rd window this week. Phone calls in the middle of the night. Someone's having a go at us.
The offence is criminal damage, Mr. White. You should always call the police in when you're in trouble.
Oh, you're very funny, aren't you?
Nothing, and Laddo's taken off.
Oh, that's silly. You tell him.
He's a law unto himself.
Not on Sun Hills, Pat, he isn't. Tell him to come and see us. Better for him in the end. And what about this lot? Any idea who's responsible?
That's your job, isn't it?
We can't do much without your help, Mr. White.
Your time a month, is it?
Come on, leave him. He's not worth it.
I have no doubt that the offences to which you refer are appalling, destructive and antisocial. The nub of my concern is that they are all criminal offences, against which the criminal law should provide sufficient protection to society.
That is certainly the case, Your Honour, and we do have several convictions recorded against these individuals.
You are seeking to restrict the free movement of 5 named individuals in 2 named public places, Chief Inspector.
As well as the documented convictions, Your Honour, you do have before you sworn affidavits from the joint applicants. The Council, as owner and administrator of the named public spaces, has supplied an affidavit which itemises criminal damage directly attributable to the named individuals, which runs into thousands of pounds over the last 6 months. Together, we believe that our case has highlighted a public menace, which most urgently needs to be curtailed. And if the criminal law is currently being enforced with a limp wrist, we make no apologies for seeking firmer protection in this court.
Went out for some milk. I've been gone 5 minutes.
So you're going to have to tell me more about what Mick's been getting up to, Mrs. Jackson.
Recourse to civil law in matters of criminal conduct does nothing to inspire confidence in the system. I sometimes think it's a sign to us that we have failed. However, we do require a solution. I have been satisfied that the police have made strenuous efforts to confirm the identification of the individuals named in the paper. I am therefore minded to grant a penal order against the named individuals. If they fail to comply, they could be sent to prison.
Done it, Derek, we've done it!
Not yet, Sue, not quite. We've still got to serve that injunction.
You were great, Derek. You ought to have been a politician.
He's not a bad lad. There's no evil in him. It's difficult since his father took off.
How old is he?
18. I had to put my life back together. Back to work, back earning. Couldn't rely on his father. And anyway, he's got a new family. And I've got my pride.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that.
It is Mick, though. The caller, the man on the phone. He said to sort him out. He said if I couldn't, he would.
I see. And what about the accident?
I'm used to him staying out all night. But this morning I got a phone call from the hospital. He'd been dumped there by his mates. No one knew who he was. He wouldn't talk at first. They'd been messing about at the 1 o'clock club. Someone had put a wire up in the dark. He rode straight into it. Could have had his head off.
Are you Daryl White?
He wants to know.
That's Daryl White.
I ask you, Inspector, to witness the fact that this injunction has been successfully served on Daryl White.
Hey, what's going off here? Back off, you sonny Jim.
This is a court official. He's just served an injunction on your son.
What?
Sort him out, why don't you?
Hey!
Get out. I'm warning you, Mr. White.
Look it in! You okay?
Wait,
You sure you're okay?
Yes, it's on.
What's going on?
This man's just served a legal injunction on Darrell White.
I wouldn't accept it.
There's a mistake.
Now you're under arrest too. Get him out, Clinton.
I'll have you slag. You wait.
I look forward to it.
I want her done for assault.
I didn't see anything, did you, Dave? No, nothing. Come on.
Thanks.
It's okay.
Do you do this often?
Sorry?
You didn't half give him a whack.
Well, Derek, it's been a rough old school.
Mr. Randall, isn't it?
Hello. Just doing a bit of cleaning up.
So I see. Handy with a can of paint, are we, Mr. Randall?
As long as it's nothing too complicated. Why do you ask?
That list of names you gave us, of the boys on bikes, it proved very useful.
Really? Good. And are you doing anything about it this time? Anything effective, that is?
Oh, we hope so. Would you mind telling us where you were between 10:30 and 12 this morning?
Right. This is me, Ralph Towner. And I want to set the record straight about the death of my former partner, Perry Anderson. The coroner recorded a verdict of death by misadventure. He was wrong. I did it. I drowned him in the swimming pool. I just tickled him round the head with his own birthday bottle of champagne and pulled him under. He settled a few scores and he gave me a lot of satisfaction. Even now I remember the moment with pleasure. He was always too fond of the champagne.
So, gentlemen.
Now, that was definitely the voice of your client.
Yes. Mr. Towner died only a week ago after a short but painful illness.
And who was the supposed victim?
Mr. Perry Anderson was once my client's business partner.
And did he in fact die by drowning?
Yes. A couple of years ago, I believe. But you'll have records of the incident. This accompanied the recording, but without explanation.
Did your client leave a widow?
She was devoted to her husband and is still in mourning. Please proceed with tact.
Does she know about this?
His will instructed that she should not know or hear of its contents till after the police had been informed. Her name is Barbara Towner.
Mrs. Towner?
Yes?
DS Greg, DC Line, Sun Hill. Wonder if we could have a word.
What about?
Mr. Towner.
But my husband has just died.
We know.
Look, Mrs. Towner, can we come in, please? It'll be easier for us to explain.
Come this way.
Your husband's solicitor, Mr. Burnett, has just given us a tape on which your husband confesses to the murder of Perry Anderson.
What are you talking about?
He says he hit Mr. Anderson round the head with a champagne bottle and then drowned him.
That's absurd.
Mrs. Towner, we'd like to tell us a little about your husband and about Perry Anderson.
Tickled him round the head with his own birthday bottle of champagne and pulled him under. He settled a few scores and he gave me a lot of satisfaction. Right. This is me, Ralph Towner. And I want to set the record straight about the death of my former partner.
Perry Anderson was a liar and a cheat.
Is that why he and your late husband parted?
Perry Anderson was too free with the firm's money, which my husband didn't suspect. He was also unpleasant enough to take the major contracts with him.
How did your husband feel about that?
About the same as you would, I imagine. Although my husband was a fundamentally decent man, Sergeant. A kind man who tended to think the best of people.
But he was disappointed in Perry Anderson.
Perry Anderson preyed on Ralph. He wasn't a nice man at all.
Then why were you present on the night Mr. Anderson drowned, Mrs. Towner?
It was his birthday.
10 of us went for a Chinese meal. After we went on to Vic Mobley's place. Summertime. Drinking, dancing. Chance to cool off in his pool.
So although your husband and Mr. Anderson had fallen out business-wise, you continued to meet him socially?
Well, I suppose we couldn't avoid him totally. We shared the same circle of friends. But really, I was hoping to get some of the money back. I kept that secret from my husband. I'm sorry. I just can't believe this.
There's the report on Perry Anderson's death, sir.
Thank you, Donna.
He had a bit of form too, sir. Crossed our path a few times, including an affray in a pub and a couple of assaults.
Well, Alistair and Tosh are out chatting to the widow at the moment, so I'll leave this for them.
The death occurred at the house of one Vic Mobley, a local builder with a house on Chiswick Avenue.
And a pool?
Yes, sir. Towner and Anderson were both builders merchants.
When I left the pool, Perry Anderson was sitting on the side with his feet dangling in the water, swigging from a bottle of champagne. He said he had another one cooling on the bottom and asked me to join him. Well, I declined. When I got dressed and had a shower, they'd already found him.
How long was that between leaving the pool and coming back?
20 minutes.
Could your husband have sneaked in unseen?
By me and everybody else? Don't be ridiculous. Look, why don't you go and speak to some of the other people who were there? They'll tell you.
We are going to speak to the others, Mrs. Towner, but at the moment, we're very interested to see what you've got to say.
So before the split, you and the Andersons were close?
Yeah, too close.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Mrs. Towner?
My husband was having an affair with Julie, Perry Anderson's wife.
That doesn't sound very fundamentally decent, Mrs. Towner.
I love my husband.
And what about Perry Anderson? Did he mind?
You ought to speak to Julie. And Ronnie Moore. If anyone benefited from Perry Anderson's death, it was her.
In what way, exactly?
She made a pile out of the insurance.
If it isn't true, why do you think your husband's saying this?
My husband was delirious with painkillers towards the end. Perhaps it's what he wanted to do, a kind of fantasy. I can understand that. Mr. Anderson wasn't a nice man.
This came with the tape. Do you recognise it?
No.
Could it have belonged to Mr. Anderson?
It's the kind of thing Perry'd wear.
Have you any idea how it came to be in your husband's possession?
No, look, if you don't mind, I've answered your questions, but I think I've had enough of this now.
All right.
Thanks for your cooperation, Mrs. Towner. Sorry we had to trouble you.
It's all right.
We'll keep you informed. If you're gonna die, why bother to confess?
To clear your conscience? There is another reason, I suppose.
Which is?
Well, if you're gone, they can't punish you. But if you worry about you getting out, you could take the blame to protect someone else.
Like who? His wife?
Well, she didn't have a good word to say about Perry Anderson, did she? Or his missus. Costa. Mrs. Anderson?
You're a bit late, love. Not no more, 'cause now I'm Mrs. Moore. Oh, well, never mind. What can I do you for?
Detective Sergeant Gregg and Detective Constable Lyons. Can we have a word?
Nothing's happened to Ronnie, has it?
No, it's about your late husband, Perry Anderson.
Oh, no, not that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him today. It's a happy day. Like happy hour, only longer.
We won't take up much of your time. Thank you.
Well, you boys better come on through.
We have information suggesting your husband's death wasn't an accident.
What's that mean?
Well, someone's claimed to have murdered him.
Well, I would have murdered the blight myself if I'd had the nerve. So, who told you that little story then?
Ralph Towner.
I heard he was dead.
He is, but he left a tape in his will. On it he claims he drowned your husband.
Towner? Look, you boys must have a drink. I'm celebrating our first wedding anniversary.
No thanks.
Oh, go on. What about you? You look like you've got a kind face.
It's a bit early for me. Look, do you mind turning that thing down? Switching it off? Please?
All right.
Thank you.
What's all this nonsense going to do with me anyway? It was 2 years ago, you know.
Where were you when the accident happened?
Indoors. With Vic Mobley. I ain't much of a swimmer. Plus, I didn't fancy watching my old man flaunt his body.
Is it at all possible that Ralph Towner drowned your husband in some way?
Unless he done it by remote control.
So the idea that your first husband was murdered is absurd.
I should say so.
Barbara Towner says that at that time you and her husband were lovers.
Well, she's a stuck-up cow.
So she's mistaken. You were not having an affair with Ralph Towner.
No. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black.
Sorry?
She was the one who was having an affair. What do you think she was doing at Perry's party? She was his little birthday treat.
Yeah. Donna.
Sir, your man Anderson. I knew there was something curious. Somebody parked their car outside his house and he drove 6-inch nails through that.
I thought we agreed never to talk about it.
We did, and we won. But there are other people involved, and I'm protecting you from them.
Have you ever seen this?
No. Whose is it?
We don't know. It came with a tape.
Oh, well, you better ask Barbara Towner then.
We have. She didn't recognise it either. But she did say it was the kind of thing that Perry Anderson would wear.
Oh, did she?
It didn't belong to your late husband.
No, not as far as I know. By that time, I didn't take much notice of him anyway.
Your man is back.
Oh, sweetheart.
Nah, man, just... Hello, what's this?
We're playing detectives. This here's my lovely husband, Mr. Ronnie Moore. These here are detectives.
I could tell that from the gas board.
Yeah. Well, they reckon that Perry was murdered, that someone drowned him as a birthday present.
You're joking? No, sir.
Yeah, and the best bit is they reckon that Ralph Towner done it.
Towner?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Isn't it?
We'd like a word with you too, please, sir.
Well, you can just pursue him elsewhere, my sons. We're supposed to be celebrating. Banging champers down our scrag. Not talking to the old Bill.
It's all right.
No, it's not all right. Ralph Towner's dead, and he wasn't even there when Perry Anderson died. And you were knocking at our door on our wedding anniversary. Do us a favour, eh, lads?
You were present at the time, sir. Can you tell us what happened?
I want you out.
5 minutes. Then you can get on with your party. Otherwise, you can both come down the nick. Anniversary or no anniversary.
Yeah, all right.
But there are other people involved, and I'm protecting you from them.
You don't have to.
But I do.
So, why is it recorded on the other side of the tape?
Maybe the confession was just to get us hooked. What he really wanted was to make you do what you've already begun. Reopen the investigation.
But this sound is recorded off mic. He's just picking up a conversation he's having with his wife. My guess is that she didn't even know it was going on. And our Mr. Nice Guy Towner was simply dropping her right in the frame. If this is genuine, Donna, Mrs. Towner's been lying through her teeth. And she's probably not the only one.
Tell us about just before he drowned.
We all drifted away from the pool and had a drink indoors. Perry was still sitting there, smoking a cigar and preparing to get nasty, like he always did when he got tanked up. So we were steering clear of him.
Could Towner have sneaked in, done the deed, and then got away without being seen?
All this was aired at the inquest. Now, just because some nut fancies playing games, we've got to go through it all again. Sit down. Ralph Towner wasn't there, right? What he's saying's ridiculous.
Everyone we talked to is so sure that Ralph Towner was not at the scene of the crime.
Accident.
Oh, right, accident. So where was he then?
I don't know where he was, but he hated parties, and he certainly wouldn't be near a party to celebrate Perry Anderson's birthday.
What about Mrs. Towner? We got the impression from her that she and her late husband were devoted to each other. Do you think that was the case?
So devoted, she had an affair with a guy who's ripping him off. But Ralph Towner weren't a murderer.
You've just given us two good reasons why he could be.
No, not Ralph. No way. But none of it's to do with us. So either you're taking us down at the station, in which case I want to call me brief, or this interview is terminated.
So what's it going to be?
Well, thank you, sir. And happy anniversary.
So what have we got to suggest that it might be true?
Everybody having an affair with everyone else.
And they all had the opportunity except Towner.
Yeah, they've all made a point of saying that he wasn't there.
But we know Mrs. Towner's alive, for what?
Perhaps they're all in the bed together.
What a crew, eh? Didn't you ever go to Sunday school?
And you were upstairs at the time, were you, Mr. Mobley?
Yeah. I heard Ronnie Moore shouting, and then when I come out to look, there he was, dragging Perry out the pool.
Where?
Here.
Where did he crack his head?
I don't know. Maybe he dived and banged it on the bottom, or maybe hit it on the side.
And where was he when you left him?
Here.
And who was using the pool when you went upstairs?
When I left, they all were.
Are you sure? Mrs. Anderson said she was upstairs.
Yes, that's right, yeah. All except Julie.
And where was she?
Upstairs, with me.
Did Ralph Towner put in an appearance?
No. He wasn't here. Him and Perry fell out.
Could you sneaked him when you were upstairs?
What for?
Could he?
Anything's possible.
So how long were you upstairs with Julie?
15 minutes.
You weren't having an affair as well, were you?
No. Well, not with Ronnie and Perry about, no, but she come up. Right out of the blue. I should be so lucky. Now, next thing I know, they were all shouting about the accident.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah, Perry was wearing it the night he died. It was a birthday present.
Who from?
Barbara Towner.
How do you know that?
He told me. He was boasting about it.
So Ronnie gets rid of the others, Julie diverts Mobley, Mrs. Towner lets her old man in, and Ronnie and Ralph do the deed.
Which means they all planned it together.
So what's he up to? First he confesses, then he drags the others in.
Shall we bring Mrs. Towner in?
Well, we've got to establish the presence of Ralph Towner first, and the one thing that everybody's agreed is that he wasn't there. So what do you want, Benny or the Bird Boys?
Not today, boys, I'm busy.
It won't take long, Benny. Take your mind back to the night Perry Anderson was drowned. Vic Mobley's place? Mobley says you were there.
Yeah, that's right. Good bloke, Perry. A bit loud, but I like that sort of thing myself. Well, I'm loud too. Well done, darling.
Did you see anything of Ralph Towner?
No, he wasn't there. His missus was, but he wasn't. Perry was having an affair with her.
Was Perry wearing a medallion around his neck?
I can't remember. How am I supposed to remember that?
He never said anything about it?
Well, we weren't really talking. I'd gone round there to make amends, but, well, didn't want to know. I bought him a present and all. But if I'd known he was going to die, well, I wouldn't have bothered. Still, can't hold grudges, can you? Even though he could.
What time did you leave?
At 1 o'clock. They just said, right, that's it, and showed us the door. Hey, careful, Trace. Remember what happened last time?
OK, Benny.
Who did? Ronnie Moore. Said Perry Anderson had some business to take care of. Well, I thought he meant Barbara Towner, because they were all at it, you know. Apart from me.
Was Mr. Towner there?
No.
Are you sure?
Definite.
But your brother was there as well, was he?
Tell! The night Perry Anderson passed over. Cast your mind back.
Yeah?
Mr. Ralph Towner. Do you remember him being there at all?
Who?
Perry was slipping his missus one.
Oh, Ralph, yeah. He was waiting outside. Be with you in a minute. What a boy, eh, that Perry? He's nobbing Barbara Towner, while her old man's sitting outside in his car waiting to take her home.
Ralph Towner was outside in his car. Are you sure?
Yeah. Felt sorry for him.
What time?
1-ish when we left.
Did he get out of the car?
No.
Did you talk to him?
No.
So you don't know if he was waiting for Mrs. Towner?
What else would he be there for?
Mrs. Towner, I'm DCI Meadows. Thanks for coming in.
What now?
Please take a seat. Thank you, Tosh.
Interview with Mrs. Barbara Towner, time 4 p.m. Those present, Detective Chief Inspector Meadows and Detective Sergeant Gregg.
We'd just like to ask you one or two more questions, Mrs. Towner. I'd like you to understand that you're here of your own free will and you can leave at any time you choose. I must caution you, though, you don't have to say anything unless you wish to do so, but what you say may be given in evidence. Do you understand?
I'm not an idiot, Chief Inspector.
You're also entitled to free legal advice.
Thanks for the offer, but no thanks.
How did you get on with your husband, Mrs. Towner?
My husband was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him.
So how come you were having an affair with Perry Anderson, your husband's enemy?
What did you say?
Why were you having an affair with Mr. Anderson? Mrs. Anderson, now Mrs. Moore, claims that you were.
And you believe her? All right, yes. I did have a fling. For a brief period, I was infatuated with that. It was all a mistake. It meant absolutely nothing to him, as I soon discovered. I didn't mention it before, because I was too ashamed.
Did your husband know about this affair?
No.
If what your husband says on the tape is true, it would help explain why. People usually murder for a reason.
He didn't know. And he didn't murder. I don't know why you keep repeating this ridiculous allegation.
Mrs. Towner, I'd like to listen to something.
DCI Meadows is now showing Mrs. Towner...
I'm now playing part of this recording.
I'm going to take care of that night.
What night?
The night we all took care of Perry Anderson.
I thought we agreed never to talk about it.
We did, and we won't. But there are other people involved, and I'm protecting you from them.
You don't have to.
But I do.
Is that you, Mrs. Towner? Is that you?
Sounds like it.
Were you aware that you were being recorded?
I've absolutely no recollection of the conversation.
What did you give Mr. Anderson for his birthday?
I don't remember. Who said I brought him anything?
Was it this?
Now showing yellow metal medallion.
Because according to at least 2 people who were present that evening, you bought this for Mr. Anderson as a birthday present. Now, they know this because he told them. He was boasting about it. Did you give it to him?
Yes.
So why were you lying about it?
I was frightened and ashamed. I gave it to Mr. Anderson, and then after his death, while we were waiting, I took it back. It seemed the discreet thing to do in the circumstances.
So how did it come to be in your husband's possession?
I don't know. I kept it in a drawer. He must have taken it, stolen it.
And how did you know who it belonged to?
I don't know.
But you still say he never mentioned it?
Never. That's why I lied, Chief Inspector. All this time, right through to his death, I thought he never knew.
Even though he was waiting outside Vic Mobley's house in a car for all the other guests to leave?
What are you talking about?
Your husband was waiting outside in a car. One of the other guests saw him.
You were just saying that.
We have a witness.
In that case, I've nothing more to say, except that I never knew. If he was there, he must have followed me. He did sometimes, but I knew nothing about it.
Well, you lied about the affair. You lied about the medallion. So why should we believe you about the tape? We're bringing Mr. and Mrs. Moore in as well. Perhaps you'd like to say something before they arrive. You see, what I'm hearing is that your husband was a saint, and I don't believe a word of it. You were all shafting him. And the first person that Ralph Towner turned on was Perry Anderson. And that suited you, Ronnie Moore and Julie, very nicely. So you all teamed up to help him do the job. But in making this confession, Ralph Towner has posthumously shafted the lot of you.
For the benefit of the tape, Mrs. Towner has just made an obscene gesture.
Mrs. Towner, I'm arresting you for the murder of Perry Anderson.